Well, hey there, YouTube. It's PD Two Finger here with this Cozart semi-hollow body Stratocaster style guitar. We did some work on this today. I was gifted this guitar by someone I met on the internet. A good friend of mine by the name of Jimmy Photon decided to spread some love around, and he hooked me up with this Cozart semi-hollow body guitar, and I'm just speechless. What a wonderful gift. It came looking like this, with this kind of bleachy white, really white pickguard, and these pickups were not the best. I tried it on a distortion patch and it was kind of clean, actually. So what we've done so far to the Cozart is we removed the bridge and we installed a Wilkinson. But we removed the stock Wilkinson saddles and installed Graphtec graphite saddles. Fancy. These are El Cheapo Chinese locking tuners, which I've been using these on my guitars, and I've never really had an issue with these. They're affordable. The particular brand were the Music Illy. Reading the comments on these, the like $19 sets, people were saying, "Oh, the quality went down. They're not that good. Oh, this one has a burr on it. I'm gonna have to." I know someone got in there and stripped that, but I'm going to be taking a file to that. Do not like rough edges on my instruments. So we installed these locking tuners, and I did not have to alter the guitar. We installed a new claw and the strings and the springs, and then the bridge with these saddles, these funky graphite saddles. So yeah, the pickguard is a aged pearl. And when I looked at the pickguards that they had for sale on Alibaba Express and eBay, the dimensions of these screw holes did not line up to what I was measuring using a digital caliper, which is a tool that looks like this, which you can get these for pretty cheap. I think I paid $12 for this at Harbor Freight. So this is just a little measuring device which has a digital display, and it measures in millimeters, and it's real handy if you're doing any kind of guitar modification work, or you need to measure stuff when you're ordering it. Like for instance, ordering this bridge, they have different models and there's different string spacing. Okay, so the space between the strings is what you need to measure. And we also had on this bridge, the screw holes all lined up except for the last one. So I had to put a plug in that, glue it, and then drill it out, which I've never done that. And I did it today, and it was pretty easy. Today I did using mineral oil on the fretboard, which I've never done. That was a little bit weird. I've been using lemon oil, and I don't know, some controversy about that. So moving forward on this project, like I mentioned, we've already got the bridge installed. I'm going to be stripping off everything off of the pickguard, and then laying them down together and using a Sharpie marker to mark and drilling out fastener holes on this lovely pickguard, which came without the holes drilled. And if you look at these holes, they're beveled, so the screw seats nicely. You know, the screw, if you look at it, it's kind of a dome on the top, and then it has these angles, and then this threaded part. So for that to seat nicely, I'm going to use these tapered bits that I just got. I really don't know what they're called. They're gold. They were cheap. They were on eBay. So we've got Alnico 5, which are really good sounding vintagey pickups. These measure 48 millimeter pole spacing, 50 for the middle pickup, and the bridge pickup is a 52. And I have black out knobs and black pickup covers. and a black switch tip. So basically we're going to remove everything off of this pick guard, and then I'm going to superimpose it over this, Sharpie mark the holes, drill it out, and then use that tool to bevel it. Once it's all drilled out, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all 11 holes are drilled out, I can transfer over the potentiometers and the pickup selector. I'm going to do what's known as a treble bleed capacitor mod, and it's just a cap you install, which makes it so when you turn the volume down, without this modification, you lose a little tone or treble when you turn your volume down. So with this treble bleed, it keeps your guitar nice and bright even if you reduce the volume. So we're going to do that treble bleed mod. I'm going to be removing, probably go one at a time, and remove the pickup wires and then solder in. You know, use like a desoldering suction pump to remove the excess solder, and then just solder in the new pickups and on the new pick guard. And at that point we can reinstall the pick guard, and this ground wire attaches to the back of the volume pot. There's like a chassis ground on that volume pot, and that's also the main ground which goes out to this cavity here on our. I took it. So yeah, we got a lot done tonight. I've got this. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I got this Lakato funky ribbed for her pleasure strap, and these chunky strap locks, which all of a sudden this light hollow body guitar with all this extra fancy hardware is gonna be like a Les Paul. No, I'm kidding. So that's the plan, and I did forget. Well, here's the. Isn't that a nice looking backlight? We have to. Did you grab the backlight?
I did.
Okay. We do have to do the same process and drill holes, because this is a blank back plate. You can see here the holes. On a real Strat, they're staggered. These two middle holes they're like that, and on this it's just go. It doesn't matter to me, but if I would have ordered the other one, I would not have been able to install. Oh look, we get extra screws.
Yeah, lots of them.
And I use them. I use those screws on projects. I like to buy pick guard screws and use them for when I'm building stuff. Like my wife's pedal board, we use quite a bit of those screws for that project. And last but not least, we do have one more additional component that I need to talk about. With this, in shipping, this poked through. It poked through everything, including the exterior of the package, and thank goodness it didn't damage itself. But I've got this black Tusk XL nut. So this here will pop this out, tap it, and then this is the replacement nut that's going to go in there. And using these graphite nuts, graphite is a self-lubing material, so this means that the strings are less likely to grab, which causes tuning instability issues if you use your tremolo arm. I mean, a Strat, typically Strats do not stay in tune. I have an American Standard Strat, a 91 or 92, and I love that guitar, I really do. It sounds and plays like a dream, but doesn't stay in tune. Now, I had the graphite mod done to it. They charged me $90. It helped, but it's still, it made it so it stopped breaking strings. I was breaking strings left and right. So the last guitar that I did was an Affinity, a Squire Affinity Strat. It was a black Strat with a white pickguard, like you always see. And I got that from Goodwill for $50. It was an auction, online auction. And we sanded that one down, primered it, and I shot it with a homemade airbrush rig. I shot it like canary yellow. And that guitar, I put it all back together. I did my locking tuner trick that I always do. Got roller string trees instead of these little grabby guys. And I've got those coming for this. And I did put in a graphite nut. And that guitar, that Stratocaster, stays in tune like nobody's business. I have never had a Stratocaster stay in tune, and it's my beater Strat. So I'm really hoping, please Lord, shine down on me like you have been lately. I've been just so blessed that this guitar is going to end up being a player and a stayer. Stay in tune. I like that when they stay in tune. So this is the Cozart project. Special thanks to Pink Jimmy Photon. Go check out his YouTube channel. And this F hole is not a joke. When you play the, like typically a strat, you play it, it's doesn't project very well unless you have an amplifier. Well, this actually does with the F hole. So I'm not sure how much that's going to affect the playability through an amp, but I like writing in that like mellower style where you don't have the dirt box on. You know what I mean? You shut the big muff off for a minute, okay? So this is the Cozart, and I will be updating you guys on this. Maybe we'll even get some action footage when I'm in here grunting and sweating the next time I give her on this one. It's just that, with my lower back issues, and I was making a lot of noises today. And my wife was like, can we stop? Because you're moaning. Not the good kind of moaning either. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. As always, please try to stay cool, hug your pets, give them a treat from Petey, and peace.